Some folks remained sober. Some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles.
Well, let's gear the car. All drivers clear the track. All drivers clear the track, please. We'll get tonight's nightcap underway. All right, drivers, welcome to the 360 Sprint Car race for week number 1. Please remember that we do not have live admin this year. So all admin is going to be by protest. In our Discord page, there is a protest folder. Inside that folder, there is a sheet that you fill out if you think somebody did you wrong. That sheet will get emailed to me, and I will get it out to the review committee to review any incidents. And the following week, we will impose penalties. Don't forget that since we no longer have cautions in the heats and consies, all the starts are on the green. Again, we've had some comments that maybe that we should change that to all starts on leader. Not opposed. If you would like that, please send a message in Discord so we can start a vote to see if maybe we change that. I am single person admin / broadcast, so you guys are going to have to bear with me as clearing black flags and trying to broadcast and doing all the things that we need to do. I can get a little bit behind. Just know that we do have a protest committee that is various teams. Cale Smith from CSC, Clay Christopherson from FTM, and then my teammates from Hammer Down Racing are on that review committee. So that's it. We're ready to get the show underway. Any questions, comments, or concerns from the drivers?
We don't have a feature set up. We only have qualifying, Joe.
Say that again.
We only got a qualifying setup. We don't have a feature set. I'm not sure if when it transfers over to the heat race, I don't know if we'll have a feature set up or not. But right now we only have qualifying.
Yeah, Tim Ford. Let me go back in. Everybody exit out. I will we'll scrap this and we'll open a new session with the feature setup. Right. I don't know any other way of changing it now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing me go through and try to set up a session as quickly as I can. Let me make sure we got 30 lap feature. Yes, we do. So we'll get this set up and we will get your cars. While we do that, we'll take a quick break, which I should have done before. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. And so that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. Every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. There's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. We've seen 4 eagle rays at once. Just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced, it hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, from being, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I've gone snorkeling a few times, or I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
I'm Chris Jakomick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important, but I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. It's like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broken through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought, we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media and I see this what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. It was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I've not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired a little over a year ago, I set forth, I was like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My apologies. It was operator error. I had to set up 3 different races, and I did it wrong twice. And so hopefully the third time is the charm. And I would like to be the first to welcome you to the Caden Berry, as soon as I get that right, Caden Berry Motorsports 360 Sprint Cars on our first Friday night. Thank you, fans out there, for sticking it out with us. Timothy, thank you for the kind words. I got to tell you, after serving 23 plus years in the military, I've seen the devastating effects that that military service can have on some folks. So appreciate the kind words. Unfortunately, this stuff happens too often. I will tell you, I believe the VA is getting better at dealing with them myself, but we got a long way to go to take care of the warriors that come home, and we owe them that for sure. So thank you, Timothy, for the kind words. All right, all drivers clear the track, please. All drivers clear the track. All right, fellas, we'll go straight into qualifying. I don't think we need to go over anything again. We'll go straight to qualifying. Any questions, comments, or concerns from the drivers? All right, we're going to advance. Thank you for your patience. My apologies. Older I get, the more stuff I forget. So we'll advance.
You said it's the first week here of the sprint cars, Joe. You couldn't set the standard too high. You know what I'm saying? You gotta roll into it slow. You did it right.
Yeah, right? The first two races were way too smooth for some reason.
Exactly. You didn't want to set the bar that high to start off. You just didn't want to do it. So who are the dogs, man? Who are the quick qualifiers? Who do we watch out for here?
So the Wyobe guys, right? You got Caden Berry. This is the Caden Berry 360 sprint cars. They actually sponsored it this year. Give me 1 second. Caden Berry. So Caden Berry, Sean Stevens, who is on the screen right now, the Wyobe guys are super quick. And of course, the usual suspects, one of my all-time favorites, and that is Randy Shreves. So you can never count Randy out, right? And you know that. So between, Gavin Chatham, like you said earlier, man, there's you could pick any one of like 10 or 12 drivers, Zach, to win this thing.
Yeah, there is the Dark Knight. Gavin Chatham jumps to the top of the charts, man. Batman just sneaking out of the shadows, dude. He's so quick. That guy, phenomenal watching Gavin rip around. And well, Anthony Morano, that's only coming home 11th. No shade here. Anthony knows I love him, but man, 11th, he probably wanted to qualify a little better than that. He's gonna have to work hard now tonight.
Yeah, Clay Christopherson, he times in 15:51. That puts him at the back of the field. Here are the wild cards. Jesse Whittington is brand new to Gears Unlimited Friday Night Lights. That is the 094 car out on track. Let's see how Jesse runs here. He's coming off at turn 2, so we got a couple more corners before we get to see how this young man ran. Michael Carter, Zach, actually decided to show up. It looks like he's in the field.
Oh, man, Big Papa sighting here. Yeah, just in time. Not sure. Here he goes. He's going to pull off. So we'll have to see. He's got to bust his tail. He's got 40 seconds to qualify, so he's only going to get one lap in.
Jesse Whittington, 13:28 for the 094 car. That'll put him 6th quick. So far, Gavin Chatham, Joseph Grandy, Sean Stevens, Randy Shreves, Braden Carter, Caden Berry times in 13:28. That'll be 7th quick. So we'll see how that plays out. Michael Carter out on track as he just went by. As you heard Zach say, he's about running out of time. We got about 15 seconds left. Michael Carter, he's 8th quick, 13:29 on his first lap. Will he get another one in? I don't think so. Yes, he will. 8th quick. So it looks like Gavin Chatham with your quick time for tonight. $10 goes to Gavin Chatham's account. We'll get heat races underway. Heat 1 to the grid. Heat 1 to the grid, please. All right, drivers, you know the drill. Leader, I need you 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. Initial start is on green. Well, all starts are on green in heats and consies. You got 8 laps to get it done. Top 4 moving on. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Gavin Chatham, Randy Shreves on the front row, Caden Berry, Austin Trombley in row 2, Anthony Marfulio, Nick Berry in row number 3, Donald Ingram and Clay Christopherson in row number 4. Congratulations, 24 car, Gavin Chatham with tonight's quick time. $10 to your account, sir. So those names that we talked about, Zach, right at the front of the field, Gavin Chatham, Randy Shreves, Caden Berry. Trombley might be a wild card in that 47.
Yeah, it's wild. You know, tried to spy on the field here. Those three that you mentioned, the only three to pull their wings back here on the grid. And, you know, that's something you're not really familiar with here at Eldora. So maybe here, you know, in the new build, drivers liking that stability of the rear end maybe a little more. And some of the guys already trunking the wings. So they're going for stability over speed here at the Big E.
Yeah, and I know you're new to the show. That 12 car of Caden Berry, Zach, he's a youngster out of New Hampshire. He drives a sprint car in real life. He is something else. He's got a great future ahead of him. He has not won a championship with us yet, so this may be the year. And his dad, for the first time, is in the field with us, Nick Berry, in the 85 car. Green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. We are underway. The 360 sprint cars at Eldora in heat number 1. Gavin Chatham will stay along the fence. Zach.
Yeah, Gavin trying to rip that bottom side here. Caden trying to feed it in, but nowhere to go. That 56 of Randy Shreves to the outside, and he's able to slot in line in P2 for now. It seems like guys want to run that middle bottom, so maybe a couple laps, Joe, till we see a cushion build up a little higher and guys try to go to the high side.
Yeah, everyone kind of working a similar line. We changed the track wear-in just a little bit more this time. We left it 100% at qualifying, so maybe the track will not be as racy as maybe it could be. But Gavin Chatham, Randy Shreves, Caden Berry, Austin Trombley in the 47 are your top 4 sitting in transfer positions. Anthony Marvulio, Nick Berry, Donald Ingram, Clay Christopherson are on the outside looking in as Nick Berry gets into Donald Ingram possibly. That will send Ingram to the back of the field on lap 5 of 8. Caden Berry looking at that 56 car.
Yeah, the problem is, Joe, you know, you can get there, you can look all you want, but Gavin's right up there in front, so no room for that slider yet. Caden, as quick as he looks, I mean, arguably the fastest car on track, kind of at bay of those two guys in front of him for now.
Caden Berry goes to the bottom side. He's going to dive underneath the 56. He had no room. Randy Shreves, veteran driver, he's going to whoa up a little bit and leave the 12 car some room. Randy Shreves thought about a slider, couldn't make it happen. 1 lap to go. Gavin Chatham at the front of the field. Gavin Chatham coming off at turn 4. It's going to be Chatham, Berry, Shreves, Trombley, your top 4 transferring to the feature.
Yeah, and that's one of them, Joe, you know, you touched on a little bit, man. There wasn't much room there, and they lived here. They survived, but, and that 56, he is not going to forget what that 12 did with their racing close in the feature.
Yeah, 100%. Heat 2 to the grid. Heat 2 to the grid, please. All right, drivers, you know the drill. Leader, I need you 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. Initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start-finish line. You got 8 laps to get it done. Top 4 moving to the feature. Everyone else going to Concy. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Joseph Grandy, Braden Carter on the front row. Michael Carter, Cale Smith in row number 2. Anthony Morano, Hunter McDougall in row number 3. James Ingram rounds out your field of 7 drivers.
Yeah, now if you're Rhonda, you know, she better be on the horn. You got to tell those CSC boys to behave, right? You know, right now they're making the show, Joe, but one mistake battling for the front here could take out 3 good cars. So those CSC boys, they got to behave.
Yeah, 100%. And as you heard, Michael Carter, he wasn't too confident in his sprint car skills, and we very rarely see him and Cale Smith. Now, Braden Carter, he's going to make a run at the World of Outlaws, and man, I can't wait to watch that. So we'll see what happens here. Top 4 moving on.
Morano, I was picking daisies.
Yeah, he runs a Scrappy-Doo paint job for me every now and then in one league. So I like to call him Scrappy-Doo. And that kid, man, he's just a dog. It doesn't matter what you put him in on dirt, Joe. He runs towards the front.
Yeah, did you see on Facebook when he was running the real late model this past summer? Was something to see, man. His dad put him in his old car, and he got some laps. So that's a future star also. So we got some future stars in here, man. As the green flag comes out, we are underway. Joseph Grandy heads to the bottom. Slide job to the outside. Braden Carter thought about a crossover, couldn't quite make it happen. They'll go nose to tail in 3 and 4. Anthony Morano is the final transfer driver with Cale Smith, the first car on the outside looking in. So you got Grandy, Braden Carter, Michael Carter, Anthony Morano, and Cale Smith. That 115. He's going to hunt down that 32. Oh, Morano got into the outside fence. Zach, a little bit there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like no harm, no foul for now, able to run. But Braden Carter, scrappy, he's got it on for the lead, man. Through a slider in 3 and 4. Grandy's sending it back into 1. We're side by side coming out of 2, Joe.
Yeah, great action on the track. Still Morano holding on to that 4th and final transfer position. It looks like everybody will transfer to the feature, however, but Morano would be transferring. Cale Smith, the first car on the outside looking in. Hunter McDougal in the 1 car. He's sitting back in P6. P7 is James Ingram, the driver out of Georgia, on lap 6 of 8. Up front, Braden Carter dives down low. 15 car goes with him. Crossover coming from Grandy. Can't make it happen. Grandy will go for the slide job in 1 and 2. Get crossed over from Braden Carter. We're going to swap slide jobs.
And the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano, he threw a slider going into 1 and 2. He's countering back. We got slide jobs for 1st and 3rd here, man. It is on, Joe.
You get a slide job, and you get a slide job. Put Braden Carter at the front of the field. Joseph Grandy in P2. They're going to continue to battle it out. Morano and Cale Smith. Oh, Grandy. Oh, that was the end.
No, that was the end, yeah. Braden edges him out, man.
Holy smokes.
Braden just gets the run. I mean, Grandy was answering back. You know, one of those deals, maybe one more lap. But Braden, man, he is that kid. I told you, he's a dog, Joe.
Yeah, he's for real. Heat 3 to the grid.
Aussie on the pole. This should be a treat.
All right, leader, you know the drill. 1.5 car length behind the pace truck. Everybody else, once you get the 1 to go, tighten it up. Half car length between yourself, the car in front of you. Initial start is on green. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. Got 8 laps to get it done. Top 4 move it. Everyone is moving on tonight, I believe. I believe we had 20-something cars. So race hard, race clean. Put on a great show. Good luck. Sean Stevens, Jesse Whittington on the front row. Derek P., Jesse Ingram in row 2. Andrew Harley, Dylan Kinsey in row number 3. Jeffrey Kemper round out your field of 7 drivers. So we haven't seen Jesse Whittington before either, Zach. So this could be the wild card. Sean Stevens is always quick at Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I mean, that Aussie, he's anytime, you know, you go into a public room anywhere with these officials, you see Sean towards the top. I mean, high rating for a reason. He's really good. And for Jesse here, you say, you know, opening night here to come out and qualify P2, that's a big statement for him. Now he's got to back it up. And, I mean, that guy below him, Sean, that's going to be the test. He's got to make sure he aces this restart.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone will move on. Roxanne Jones, Landon Smith, Timothy Eldridge, Rhonda Ryder. Thank you all for the messages. We can't keep up as well as we might have in the past. It must be first week jitters. As the pace truck is off, green flag is out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are underway in heat number 3. Sean Stevens will dive for the fence in turn number 1. He'll slide up in front of Jesse Whittington. Stevens will go back to the bottom again. Everyone else staying up high, Zach.
Yeah, man, the Aussie comfortable down under, but now he goes back up top. He's got the speed rolling. He's got to go up there and shut the door. Jesse Whittington, you know, he looks like he's got early speed here. He's testing that diamond line kind of in 3 and 4, but Sean looks to have the speed. And Joe, he's doing it in a line we haven't seen anyone really use yet tonight.
Yeah, if you want to beat them, you got to run where they aren't. So the saying goes, and Sean Stevens is living by that as he is starting to pull away from the front of the cars behind him. Derek P. now, he slides underneath the 94 car of Jesse Whittington. And James Ingram in that lucky 777, driver out of Georgia. He's got a mirror full of Dylan Kinsey running 4th and 5th. Up front, Sean Stevens still setting sail. Jesse Whittington able to stabilize where he was at. and Derek P. falls back. Jesse Ingram currently in the 4th position with Dylan Kinsey all over his rear tail tank.
Yeah, I mean, the guys up front are strung out. This is where the battle's at. That battle for 4th. Dylan, he's quick right now, but he wants that same line as Jesse, so he's got to build up enough of a run here off of 2, and he's got to go for a big set into 3 and 4, but Joey's running out of time. White flag in the air. Final time. Oh, wait, no, 2 more times around. Excuse me. Shaggy can't count, Joe.
We got the white flag on my screen is out, and Sean Stevens has that lead with 2 more corners to navigate coming off of turn 4. Sean Stevens, Whittington, Derek P., and Dylan Kinsey are your top 4.
Always trust your gut. I went against it. That's my bad.
You were spot on, didn't even know it. You're so good, you do stuff when you're right, when you're wrong. 3 minutes of warm-up. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes of warm-up. We will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name's Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
When people hear a Till Valhalla project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom. 2 words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to go 30 laps in the 360 sprint cars. Caden Berry Motorsports 360 sprint cars. I'd like to thank the Berries for coming on board, the sponsoring division this season. Great to have them aboard. Feature to the grid. Get a look at your feature here coming up. All right, drivers, welcome to the feature. Not a lot changes. The only thing we add cautions. We're going to have cautions. Well, hopefully we don't have cautions, but initial start is on green. Restarts are on the leader. Leader gets to pick inside or outside before the one to go is given. Do not jump the start. Do not pass before the start finish line. This race is 30 laps. You got 30 laps to get it done. Race hard, race clean. Good luck. Gavin Chad and Braden Carter on the front row. Sean Stevens, Caden Berry in row number 2. Joseph Grandy, Jesse Whittington in row number 3. Randy Shreves is alongside Michael Carter in row number 4. Derek P. is alongside Austin Trombley in 5. Anthony Morano, Dylan Kinsey in 6. Anthony Marvulio, Cale Smith in 7. Jesse Ingram, Nick Berry in 8. Hunter McDougal, Andrew Harley in 9. Clay Christopherson, James Ingram in 10. Jeffrey Kemper and Donald Ingram round out your field of 22 drivers. All right, Zach, here we go. The nightcap.
Yeah, you know, this is a tough one to pick. If I've got to throw anyone here, I don't want to give him any bad luck, man, but Sean Stevens starting third, I like what I see there. I think he's the guy to beat tonight.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. I will go with, I think the win is going to come out of Wyobe. So I'll take the car to his outside. That's Caden Berry, the youngster in the 12th car. So we'll pick the second row this time by, and we'll see how close we came once this is over. 30 laps from now, Pace Truck is taking a look towards the infield. Pace Truck will pull off, leaving the field to... They make contact at the line. That is Braden Carter and Gavin Chatham. Chatham comes away okay. Braden Carter still holds his position. John Stevens will go to the inside, trying to duck underneath that 5 car. As Caden Berry has found the high side, now dives down low. He's going to go underneath his teammate if Sean Stevens will leave him room, and he will not leave him room. Berry's going to take it anyway. Put Berry up to P3. Sean Stevens, Joseph Grandy, Randy Shreves, Anthony Morano already up 4 positions from the start. Derek P., Jesse Whittington falling back. Anthony Marfulio in the 238. Caution comes out.
Yeah, and it came out a little late. I mean, Michael, it's kind of, you know, one of those things. It is what it is. It's a tough deal iRacing, but he gets run into the front stretch wall, Joe, at the end of lap 1. I was watching it go down, and it breaks the right front when he bounces into the wall and gets into the wall hard going into turn 1, and he sits there and waits for a caution, but it doesn't come, and he's got to drive and try to pull away so the leaders don't hit him, and just no caution comes out. But he did a good job of not hitting anyone.
Well, let's take a look. We got a replay. Let's take a look here. That is the 15 car gets into the wall there. As you heard, no caution came out.
John Stevens down pit road. Not sure what's wrong with the 26 machine, but he brought it down pit road.
That is the wall hit that Zach was talking about, and the front end of that 15 car is not well. Now we got to see what's going on with the 26 car of Sean Stevens.
Yeah, dude, I'm rewinding. I'm trying to go back. I don't see him get in the wall at all, Joe. I can't understand why he'd want to do that, but he pulled it in.
Yeah, I don't either. We just watched the Michael Carter incident, and yeah, I don't have any idea. Maybe he wants to go from the back to the front.
Well, if anybody can do it, the man from down under can. But Joe, that's a challenge. That is a
tall. That is a tall order for sure. Gavin Chatham, Braden Carter, Caden Berry, Joseph Grandy, Randy Shreves, your top 5. As the Pace Truck will pull off, Gavin Chatham will lead the field. We are back under green. Gavin Chatham, Braden Carter, Caden Berry with Grandy underneath him, Zach.
Yeah, Joseph Grandy trying to make it work there. Randy Shreves now trying to cut under that 518 to 56. Getting a good run through the middle of the corner, but that's where you want to be up top. The 518 carries all that momentum coming off, and Randy Shreves, he's not going to go away, though, Joe. Good run through 3 and 4.
Yeah, side by side. Caden Berry probably, caution comes back out once again.
Blake Christopherson.
Let's take a peek.
Oh, it starts actually with Donald Ingram and Sean Stevens, actually. And Clay gets caught up in it.
Stevens on the bottom side just slides up, clutches the left front. And yeah, that collects Christopherson. That's unfortunate, man, to be involved in an incident like that. And the 51 is worse for the wear. So getting a little rough start here in the 360 sprint cars.
Yeah, Donald definitely, may not be happy with the late slider there, but, there comes a time where you got to we saw what Randy Shreves did in the heat. Perfect example, Joe. Early on, you got a guy coming through being aggressive, maybe a little quicker than you. Just crack out of that throttle, live to race another day. It's so easy to say that up here. We know how hard it is to turn that off, man. You want to go for it when you're in the car, but sometimes you just got to try to wise up.
Yeah, right. I'm with you. Yeah, sometimes you just get out of the throttle. And, I think it makes a lot of difference when you start paying for parts. I will tell you on the real track, Zach, I'm out of the throttle like yesterday versus it's a lot easier here. But I think that habit from real racing carried over to where I'll catch them later. I'll catch them next lap, or I'll catch them in 5 laps. There's no need to put yourself in jeopardy there early on. So, all right, here we go. Gavin Chatham still at the front of the field. Braden Carter, Caden Berry. All right, drivers, let's settle in. Let's get some green flag laps in. Everyone settle down. It'll be Gavin Chatham. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Chatham, Carter, Berry, Randy Shreves, Joseph Grandy back to 5th. Caden Berry running the high side.
Yeah, and look right behind the Joseph Grandy there. We got the Ant-Man. He's up 5 spots. Anthony Morano moving up when other guys really haven't. Hasn't had much misfortune in front of him. He's doing it the hard way. So, Anthony, if he can get a good run here, maybe a timely caution late on, keep an eye on that 32.
Yeah, moving up. Anthony Morano is your hard charger at the moment, up 5.
Joe, I don't mean to cut you off. Braden sent it into turn 1. He almost got into that inside wall, and Caden Berry now, he drives around him up to P2, but Braden, hard attack of the race, man. That could have been bad, but he's going in again.
Tried it again. Caden Berry's going to cross over in the 12 car. 12 car crosses over the 5. Oh, Caden Berry getting up on that cushion, getting into that outside wall a little bit, maybe a little bit of traction. 5 car is going to, as the caution comes out once again. Take a look. That is the 1 car. I'm not sure what happened. The 1 car pulls to a stop. See if we can clear blacks.
And that's one of those, we look at that, Joe. That's just the wonders of iRacing sometimes, Poor Michael Carter there early on when he's got that right front damage, tries to park it, bring out a caution, can't get one. And there we see Hunter trying to just get off the track and call it a night, and the caution gets thrown. iRacing, man.
Yeah, and last year, Zach, we had some top-notch live admin, and it was night and day versus just kind of throw caution to the wind with iRacing. I think iRacing has a long way to go in the way of admin. However, it's not going to get any closer to the real thing on the track than iRacing for sure.
No, yeah. I mean, we definitely all love it. I mean, this is our home away from home, that's for sure, for all of us that can't be at the dirt track all the time. And man, that guy up front in that 24 machine, Joe, he's got this iRacing thing figured out. Gavin Chatham, man, he is quick.
Indeed. Watch that 12 car behind him. Those of you out there that don't know about, I don't know, Zach, maybe 3.5, 4 years ago when I became an admin for the Coast to Coast Racing League, and Zach Chapman actually came on a couple times and had to bail me out when I was running into some issues. So, Zach, you may have not remembered, but you and I have been around together a long time.
Oh, 100%, man. And this kid here, it reminds me, you know, you remember a name called a guy named Lane Snook? That kid's tearing it up in the late model world right now here around central Pennsylvania, too. So I look forward to seeing the future Caden Berry has.
Yeah, for sure. Braden Carter now in P3. Randy Shreves, Anthony Morano. Ladies and gentlemen, let's turn it up for a few laps and let you see from trackside what these cars look like. I think I jinxed us by going static, but what do we have? It looks like Clay Christopherson involved in incident.
Yeah. Austin Tremblay and Sean Stevens get together around the start-finish line, and Tremblay goes around, and Clay Christopherson, man, absolutely nowhere to go. He goes for a ride.
You know, and this is a testament to, man, you move to the back of the field and it's a whole different race. If you can stay up front, man, in clean air and got a lot of room, you can move around. Sometimes it's very difficult to move back through the field, Zach.
No, yeah, and, you know, these aren't either one. You know, I truly don't think you can put either one on Sean. That's just, you know, him being aggressive, trying to move through the field. And when you're trying to do that, you know as well as I do, Joe, you're not making a lot of friends. So you definitely want to start at the front, man, and stay up there.
Yeah, 100%. And we also know those guys that just have a knack. They can go to the back and ride through the front somehow. And, you know, you're running with them in 15th or 16th place. And next thing you know, they're in 3rd and you're still in 16th and thinking, well, how the heck did that happen? So,
yeah, let me know when you figure out how to do that. I'd like to know, too.
I haven't figured it out. I have no idea. All right, we're on lap 17 of 30. Gavin Chatham has led the majority of the laps here. Let's see. Anthony Morano is up 6 positions. However, Jeffrey Kemper, my old friend Jeffrey Kemper, is up 9 positions. Driver out of Oregon. He's up the 12th position. Let's peek in at the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper. So,
Man, great restart for Gavin. Man, he walked away. He's got almost the 5/10, half a second gap already on that restart. That was brilliant.
Caden Berry in tow. Now Braden Carter. I'm thinking these guys at some point will get nose to tail and start running and wait till the last 10 laps and battle it out. But, man, they've been going at it from the drop of the green flag, Zach.
Yeah, and Randy Shreves moving his way on up. Look at him now battling it out here with the 5. Scrappy dude trying to hold on to that podium spot. But Randy Shreves, we know how quick he is in a wing car, Joe.
Yeah, previous champion here in sprint cars. A 56 car, knows how to get it done. And maybe that's a testament to knowing how to save tires, knowing where to run, and a lot of experience in that 56 car. Anthony Morano is moving up. He pulls to the tail tank of that 5 car. Joseph Grandy back to P6. Sean Stevens has moved up to 7th. Don't look now. Top 10 for the 26. Jesse Whittington, he's in 8th. Derek P. will round out. Anthony Marfulio will round out your top 10. Heard a lot from Anthony Marfulio back east in the Boston area running a midget car. Like to watch that. Going to be a new father in the 238, so always a pleasure to have Anthony aboard. Nick Berry in the 85 is on the lead lap. He's back in P13. Andrew Harley in the 43. He's in P14. Austin Trombley, James Ingram in the 40 car is with us. Michael Carter is still on track in the 15.
Up front here, Joe. Gavin just had to look to the bottom, for a lap car, and now, Berry throws a slider, and we got a caution. Oh, no! No!
Hayden Berry was there, as you saw. Let's take a look here. James Ingram.
So that Whittington I'm not too. He gets into the wall going down the front stretch, and that thing just bicycles down the track. He lost all control of that. And then we gave Anthony the commentator's curse, Joe. We were just talking about him, so of course he gets cleaned up in it. And man, he was having a good run up in the top 10.
So, yeah, I think we jinxed the show with the no cautions in either of the previous two features, I don't think. Maybe we had one. I can't remember. Zach, I'm getting old. And we're on lap
you're lost in the good
24
racing.
of 30. So we're getting down to it. Caden Berry made his move almost on time. Zach, and caution catches him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he had the fishing pole out. I was watching him reel in Gavin those last couple laps, and Gavin, maybe bit off a little more than he can chew. He got real lucky. He threw it in way earlier than he should have on the bottom to go by a lap car. He's kind of running the middle, left the top wide open, and Caden stayed up top, hit his marks, and we were gonna have a new leader there if the caution didn't come out. So Gavin, he's got to thank the racing gods here.
So here we go. We'll go back green on lap, we'll be working lap 25 of 30. So we're getting down to it. As you heard, I don't know, maybe the tires on the 12 car better than those on the 24. Green flag is back out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're working lap 25 of 30. Gavin Chatham at the front of the field. Caden Berry P2, Randy Shrees P3. Anthony Morano is in P4. He's
Big
up
move
7
for the
positions.
Caden Berry's got it at the line.
Side by side. Caden Berry's going to cross over. Will he throw the slide job? Here comes the 12 car. Caution comes
this
out.
is
Berry
big.
should have the position.
Yep, that's huge, Joe. He had it by 5 thousandths of a second at the line. 0.005. Unbelievable. That could be the move of the race.
Pace car's behind you, Caden. Pace car's behind you. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The 12 car will inherit the lead with just a handful, less than a handful of laps left.
Man, Joe, everything you've said about this kid is true, and then some. Caden Berry, I'm not going to lie, I counted him out. I mean, he kind of showed his hand there before the last caution, and for him to make a move on the opening lap like that, when we know how much of an advantage it truly is to be the leader. You get to start the race, you drop the hammer, and for him to be able to throw that move on that first lap, that's crazy. It says a lot about the kid.
Yeah, and I've had the pleasure of watching him for the past, I think, 3 years. I may be wrong, but yeah, what a pleasure, man. In real life, I follow him. On the sim, obviously, I follow him since he races with us. Just a super kid, a super family. They're a pleasure to have all the way around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Caden Berry, Gavin Chatham, Randy Shrees, Morano, and Braden Carter are your top 5. We'll go green with lap 27 of 30. Caden Berry with a good restart at the front. He'll stay on the high side. Gavin Chatham will stay in tow. Coming to lap 28. They're going to stay in line. I don't know if Chatham will go downstairs, but it looks like Morano is starting to flirt with the lower line.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man, he loves that bottom. If there's moisture down there, he'll search for it. But right now, you just want to rip that lip. And I'll tell you what, let's send a 12 to the tech shed. That kid has got a rocket, man. How'd he save that much tire to go this quick? But caution out one more time, Joe. Green, white, checkered coming.
First attempt, Austin Trombley involved in a caution. Let's take a look.
Just floats up a little too high, gets into the side of Jesse Ingram, and
gets into
you touch wheels, you're going around.
Yep, around he goes. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's enough to bring out the caution. So, as you said, our first attempt at a green-white checker.
Yeah, anxious to see here if Jesse Ingram has to come down pit road. He did end up taking a pretty hard shot on the entrance of turn 1 there. He couldn't get it under control.
Who's that down low? Are we, how are we on fuel? You know what? I didn't do a fuel run before I made this 30 laps. So, that'll be next, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, guys, fix setup, Joe. Everybody's running the same thing. So at the end of the day, you know, you can't whine about it. You know, you gotta run it how it is. And maybe guys who run in the top here burning it up the whole time, they might not have enough fuel to go the whole way.
Yeah, it looks like Braden Carter was kind of rolling around the bottom, trying to either cool the tires. I have heard that before, or a fuel call, maybe. Morano was able to get by Carter, apparently. We'll go green-white checkers. Jeffrey Kemper still coming through the field. The 181 car driver out of Oregon is up 12 positions from the start. Andrew Harley in the 43 is up 8, following Kemper up through the field. So those two coming from the back, having a solid night. Kemper in the top 10.
Yeah, good for my Gambler Motorsports teammate rooting you on here, Jeff. But the green flag out once again. Caden Berry here, Joe, with a great restart. And man, if Gavin has anything, he's got to go now.
So Barry up in front of that 24 car. Gavin doesn't seem we got the white flag. Will Gavin Chatham throw the slider in 3 and 4? Here we're coming off at turn 2. 24, Barry blocks the slider line. He will slide up to the outside. Caden Berry for the win. Gavin Chatham, Randy Shreves. Top 3 start-finish line, please. Top 3 start-finish line. So there you have it, man.
Yeah, and Sean Stevens, man, he came up with a big move trying to pass for P4 coming to the white flag, and I believe it was him and Anthony Morano, Joe. They touch wheels, and he goes around, but too late for another caution flag to fly as the white flag was already in the air.
Well, Zach, we'll get a word with our top 3, man. Thanks for coming out. Zach, we kind of plucked him out of the stands, for a lack of a better term. But, man, it's a pleasure having you in the booth. And it's going to be all yours on the 26th and I can't remember what the dates are. But, man, you're going to be a great addition to this. I'm thanks for coming out.
Oh, yeah, man. I hope I can jump in more Fridays than this, too, as long as the wife's okay with it. You know, if this is, she's got to okay it at the end of the day. But, man, I love doing this. And with this group of drivers, I mean, this is, you know, I mean, Joe, I do a lot of leagues, and this is no shot at them. But, dude, the names you have in here, this is by far the most impressive league that I've seen. So this is awesome that these guys get along and race hard together.
Yeah, for sure. All right, drivers, up to the booth for interviews. Yeah, I'm truly blessed, and it's not of my doing. Again, these drivers, and they run the show, and it's been amazing, and they've brought friends, I guess. Let's get a word with that 56 car, Randy Shreves. This is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Man, that Friday Night Lights logo looks good on top of that 56 wing, man. Appreciate that for sure. How was your night, man? It was a little bit longer in the sprint cars than we did the other races.
Yeah, definitely had a little bit better luck here. Just, I don't know, caught a little bit of bad luck in the other 2 races tonight. But, you know, either way, it was fun. Yeah, it was a tough race here tonight. I got pretty slick out there and just trying to find a way around people clean. It was just pretty tough to do, and you just had to be patient and hold your line and stay where it was fast.
Yeah, man, Zach and I were talking in the booth, man, an old KG veteran like yourself, man, it was just another solid run, and if you put enough solid runs together, you end up with championships. So, man, it would be great that I'm sending you a trophy here at the end of the year again. Another great run, my brother. Who do you want to thank on that ride for a podium finish?
For sure, definitely want to thank you, Joe, and everybody for putting this league on. Everybody at the Dirt Track Bank. I want to thank KSB Builders, my son Dylan Shreves for painting my car, and I also want to thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, man. We'll see you next week, brother.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Zach, you want to talk to Gavin Chatham?
Yeah. Hey, Dark Knight, Shaggy up here, man. You got a copy?
I hear you guys.
Well, Gavin, I mean, this is one of those ones where, you lead out front, you dominate, and, you go on a restart, and the kid, did he just catch you sleeping there? Did you, not realize that slider was going to be effective on that opening lap?
No, I wasn't expecting he definitely threw a bomb in there for sure and got us. But we had the speed to win the race. We definitely had one of the best cars, which is it always feels good to come out here and have speed. And I was just talking to Caden about it. Cautions just fell. Sometimes you're good and sometimes you're lucky. So I kind of got lucky with the lap car and got my spot back when the caution came out, and he slid me. And then that time he had the spot and the caution came out. So felt like whoever probably was out front was probably going to win the race. So can't really complain about it. All in all, we had great speed. I mean, when you're running up front against some of the guys in this league, it feels good, and we show we're a strong competitor each week.
Yeah, I mean, that's no surprise to me, maybe everyone else here, but you get a hard charger there in the previous race and you come through here, get a hard fought P2, arguably had the fastest car, but just didn't go your way tonight, Gavin. But man, you and Caden, dude, you two are going to put on a show here this season, and Joe and I really look forward to it. Congratulations, my man. Who you want to thank?
I just want to thank you guys for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. All the admin, everybody puts this Friday night lights on, allows us to come out here and put on a good show for everybody. I just want to thank Chatham Motorsports, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Velocity Race Design, Northeast Outlet Motorsports, Miller Time Motorsports, and Slider Die Motorsports, or Sim Sports. I'm sorry. I just want to thank the fans for coming out, watching the series, and supporting it. And I want to thank my fans as well for coming out and supporting me. I really hope and I say it all the time, I really do hope we put on an enjoyable show for everybody. Week in and week out, for everybody to come out here and enjoy their Friday nights and watch some racing. One spot too short, we'll take it, and we'll keep battling this year. It looks like it's going to be shaping up for a fun year for everybody involved.
Let's grab Caden Berry in the 12 car. Caden Berry, this is Joe Halter. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, that's how you get it done right there, my friend. The Caden Berry Motorsports 360 Sprint Cars, first race ever of a self-sponsored division. And you got it done, my friend. And, I thought the cautions were going to get you early. You had the lead, and then the caution came out, but you were able to get it done, man. How'd you do it?
I don't know. Just had to be, a little patient at the beginning, I guess. A lot of tire spin. I mean, once we first started out, it wasn't as slick, and I was kind of worried about that because I was like, I don't want it to be, one lane tacky around the top. But even when it got slick, it still stayed around the top. But it just became a better factor for me. I'm pretty good through the slicks, and just had to keep the tire spin to a minimum at the end of the race, and kind of try to use that lap car as a pick, which we did. Unfortunately, the yellow came out. And then at the end, everything fell into my hands and went into my favor, and we got the job done.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Joe, you care if I pick one off here real quick?
Go ahead.
Hey, Caden, so real question for you here. You just touched on it there a little bit. Arguably, you're going to have the lead there after Gavin messes up with that lap car and caution comes out. And, what's going through your head? Did you realize, hey, I've got to strike here on this opening lap, throw a big slider because, if you just get in line and you let Gavin get up to speed, it just makes it that much harder to get around.
Yeah, no, once we had that yellow after, like I said, trying to use that lap car as a pick, I knew it was going to be super tough to get, back around Gavin because obviously clean air is super, super important. So once I, finally got by him, I was obviously pretty happy and knew that we had the clean air and had a very good shot, and we had to use it and run the top the rest of the way, and we got it done.
Yeah, man, and you're also now qualified for the $1,000 dash for cash at the end of the year. Don't forget that. And you're currently leading the points in the 360 sprint cars. Man, another great run for you, Caden. Again, we were talking on the broadcast. Thank you and your family for all the support over the years. Great run tonight. And who do you want to thank on that ride for your ride to victory lane?
Well, first off, gotta give all glory to God because I couldn't do anything without Him. Gotta thank my mom and dad, my nana and grandpa, my grandmother Cece, my Grammy Ryder, Tim and Kevin out there for watching, and TJ. And gotta thank my sponsors, Granite State Blacktoppers, Juice Powder Coating, CRC Industries, ZMAX, Driven to Save Lives, Victory Fuel, Turn One Graphics, Ryder Family Sawmill, and John Barry's Legacy Racing. And also got to thank iRacing sponsors, Team IOB, Cataclysm Computers, King Race Designs, Speed Factory, LCG Carpentry, and Stingray Rock Hills, Australia. And got to thank you guys for putting on the league, too. It's an awesome league.
Yeah, man. Saw the new shirts, too. I got to get my order in. So great run by you. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, thanks.
I'll tell you what, Joe, if Tony Stewart just heard that interview, Caden might be getting a job. That was one of the most proper interviews I've ever heard. Did you hear that sponsor rundown?
Yeah, you know what? When you win like this kid does, I think it just becomes second nature. Maybe I don't know. I've been listening to his interviews for, Zach. I can't remember. I think he might have been. His family will have to help me. Maybe he was 14 when he started running with us. And he has won since day one. It has been something else. So to see the kid blossom, yeah, I get it. It's iRacing out there, but he's got it, man. Right. And some people just have it. The interview's great. He drives great. The family's great. Everything is just great. And those are the guys that go, man. So yeah, I'm just excited. He's top notch kid.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, like you said, it is iRacing, but the talent's there. The only thing that's not is the fear of getting hurt. And if the kid's going out and doing it in real life, I mean, you can just see the skill translates. And well, I just got introduced to the Caden Barry show. This is going to be a fun year.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing year. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for week number 1. I had some fumbles there trying to get the race set up, but we made it to the end. Nonetheless, we had some really good racing. As always, I really want to thank everybody for tuning in. If nothing else, the breaks gave us time to talk about what's most important, and that's those veterans out there that are hurting. That's why I started this. That's why I do what I do. There's nothing more important. If you know a veteran that you haven't heard from in a while, maybe you should reach out, give them a call, make sure they're all right. Just check on them. You never know what that phone call would mean to somebody. 22 veterans a day take their own lives, and that's way, way too many. So greatly appreciate everyone for tuning in. I wish you all an amazing weekend. And until next week, we'll see you.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. We brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
On this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud, because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money, and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it, because I didn't want to look internally. You know, I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, you know, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity right now.